Take you back to the... Okay, I've got somebody taking care of. I've got someone pulling footage from the City Hall's security cameras so we can have a recording of this. So we can put out to the public after the fact. Okay. Good, good. I have a list of things I'm currently writing down too that I've got to take a look at after this. So fun. Sorry. I had a family emergency this week so that I had to leave the city for, so was dealing with that for most of this week.
I was out of city for a bit as well.
Yeah. Alrighty, we're just waiting on, I think, Justice, Alexander.
It's now a bad time to manage my docket.
No, go for it. You're here. By the way, just basically anytime, just most times. If it's a weekend, I can be there at any time. If it's after 5 p.m. EST, I'm fine with that. I feel like my availability was not as relevant because they can always deposition me if they need to.
You said anytime on the weekends and
5 p.m. EST after 5 p.m. EST. Yeah.
Yep. He was just behind me. He's here. Oh, he's walking through the door now. Okay, I brought him.
All right. Let me go ask if we want to give it like 5 more minutes.
Do we need to be like out
That's
there
Justice
directing
Carlos
people in
Alexander.
here?
Oh, that's
or-
Carlos. Okay.
Yes, he looks a
been
little bit like
informing
Andre with the
people.
hair. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
was about to be
Yeah.
like, wait, he said he wasn't going to be here today. I was like, wait a second.
Do we want to give it about 5 more minutes in case people
Best
trickle
for
in?
me
I've
to
got
see
okay,
inside
I've got
and
video
things
footage from I was able to
Mhm.
get the security camera footage to be able to record for us. So if we need to
Perfect.
post anything later on, we should be good.
Yes, that will be great. Just get with me when you get the footage, and then we can decide how we want to get that to the people.
Yep, I should be able to do that. All right.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll let people know we're gonna give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, just 5-ish minutes, just in case.
Someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me back there. Yeah, awesome. We're gonna give it a few more minutes, probably about 5:10. We'll go ahead and get started. And thank you for coming.
All right.
Do we want to announce that on Birdie as well?
Yeah, I gotcha.
You gonna get up?
Yeah, I was like, wait a sec.
Sorry.
By the way, Elias, I just saw what you put about the narcotic scheduling. So I'll review that with everything and we can kind of figure out what we need to change.
It looked perfectly reasonable.
Okay.
I had no qualms about any of the
Mhm.
designations.
Yeah.
There's one that's yet to be designated, but get on it. I will probably follow up with James on that after this, I imagine.
I think the things that I just have to finish kind of fully flesh out is like we said, penal code for the aviation, Hopefully the IT can get us that access to delete legislation. We can fix that.
Mhm.
And then I think it's just narcotics and bar license was the next option. So I can start if you have any ideas of what you want to do with it. Just yeah, I've got some ideas of like just basically between legislation and penal code, drafting some information about that. So
Yeah. We'll see about it.
we also probably need to do conduct based stuff as well. We also might want to take a look through that attorney paralegal handbook because it is Andre was emailing me about some stuff with that, and he was like, one of them was about not being able to contest traffic tickets in court, and like how
Mm.
that they're not allowed to do that, put those on the docket. And I was, according to that handbook, and I was like, that's not true. So
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it after though
Yeah.
and see
Let's have a look at that later.
all the list of things.
It's growing.
Don't worry. I've had stuff on my list since like before like 5 months ago when I was just just a justice. So
Yeah.
I know I'm not usually here, but if you ever need to, I can come around to help.
no, we I think we hadn't put this in the email chain, but we'll talk about it later. Yeah. All right, you ready?
All right. I think we're ready.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll go
You
ahead.
are. I'm just gonna stand behind here, guys.
All right. We're going to go ahead and call this town hall into session. This is something that myself and the justices have really been looking forward to. And we hope to do a lot more of these in the future. So keep an eye out for that. If you have not met me, my name is Polly Carter, and I am the mayor of Los Santos as of this time. I'm really happy to be here and excited to, do a lot of things for this city. I have recently brought on Dr. Wade Elliott to the mayor's office. As I'm sure some of you already know, he is a senior advisor to the mayor's office as of this time. He also is still currently in case you weren't aware, he's a psych doctor for the San Andreas Emergency Services, but he will soon be parting ways with them and will be full time with the mayor's office. If you ever see him around, he's really good about advertising on Birdie and the Yellow Pages. If you ever see him around, he does want you to come and talk to him. He really enjoys talking to you all. I also want to announce that as of today, the clerks with the Department of Justice have begun transitioning to be clerks under the mayor's office. We are really excited to have them join. Their current duties, issuing you your licenses, they will continue to be doing that, but there is a lot of opportunity for them in the mayor's office that we're really excited for them to join. I am sure you have all seen, and hello to those of you who have already joined. We barely started without you, so welcome. But I'm sure some of you have seen already the San Andreas government app that is on your phone. If you do not have a phone, then you'll not have seen this, but it is basically intended so that when the mayor's office or the Department of Justice make state announcements, there is a log so that, if you're out of town, you're still able to view it. And as of, I think, yesterday or the day before, there has been an update, and there's now a special tab. If you click at the bottom of the app, there's a special tab for that lists the government employees that are on duty. So that is new. And there are other updates we, plan to request for the app, but those we are really excited for right now. Let me see here. As I'm sure some of you have noticed, the licenses from Debbie now have expiration dates on them. We are aware that the expiration, as of now, there have been some issues with the expiration that I think are mostly resolved. If you go by a new license, I believe you will see that it should be fixed. But I also am trying to work with the city council right now on extending the expiration date. So I will, since we're still working out some of the kinks, I'll make an announcement with more information on all of the licensing and expirations at that time. As of right now, it is 30 days from the day you bought the license from Debbie. That is not, it does not require a full renewal. It doesn't require you to, like, if you have a weapons license, for example, it does not require you to come take an exam all over again to get your weapons license. It is purely you go to Debbie, our very own Debbie, to just buy a new license, and it will have a new issue date. The big thing that I wanted to touch on was before I move on to businesses and outstanding proposals, I did want to announce here that the Phoenix Flight School is almost fully operational, and you should be looking forward to that very soon. We have our very own Glenn Myers here right now, who is the owner and instructor of the Phoenix Flight School. This is something we're very excited about. Yeah, there he is. Hello, Glenn. Thank you for coming. This is really, really big. I'm really excited for it. Glenn knows so much about this stuff, and there's more to come on exactly how it will work. But we look forward to getting that fully up and running. As far as other businesses go, we do have some businesses already, operational here in the city of Los Santos, but there are also a lot that we're still working on getting up and running. And I know that a lot of you have been waiting a long time, and we are working very hard. Especially, I will be working even harder now that I've got some more help in the mayor's office. But we're working really hard on getting the existing approved business proposals going. So keep an eye on your mailbox at the apartment for that. You should be getting a letter from the mayor's office in regards to your business if it's been approved. I also know that there are non-approved business proposals still out there, and you should hear from us soon. I'm really sorry for the delay on that. It's just we're really trying to put a focus on getting the existing approved businesses up and running. But you should still be hearing from us soon on whether you're approved or denied if you have an outstanding proposal. But there is going to be a little bit of a delay on that while we get the others going. I also have been made aware that there are some soil issues in grapeseed. This is something that has affected the farmers being able to grow crops, and we know that this is an issue. So in order for the majority of restaurants to run their business, they have to have crops. They just have to. So we are looking at outsourcing crops temporarily from off of the island while we work with the local farmers on a solution for the soil issues. We are also working with not only local farmers, but we're working with the construction company on a grocery store so that businesses, well, specifically restaurants, will be able to have a place to go to get like wholesale bulk goods for their businesses so that they, so that we can get those going. Because I'm sure that everyone here is sick of ham and egg sandwiches from the 24/7. So looking forward to that. I also have, there's going to be a new way to submit business proposals. It's not fully done yet. If you currently have any that you're wanting to submit, go ahead and submit it through the public channels, but business proposals are going to become private. They will no longer be posted publicly, but we're going to have a lot more eyes looking at them moving forward. So it's overall, I think, going to be a good transition. We're looking for a way to have a public posting of like existing businesses or existing approved proposals so that, you're not hopefully getting your hopes up on something that may already be out there. But we do want to move forward. We are going to move forward with them being more private. So if you have an existing proposal out there, just keep in mind that you may be asked to resubmit once that is up and running. And the last thing, let me one moment. Last thing I want to bring up on businesses is, do I need a license? No, we don't have business licenses. You don't need a business license to run a business. If you are selling a service, let's say, that does not require a physical location, you're more than welcome to advertise on Yellow Pages or Birdie that you're offering a service, such as, something that we see a lot of is like graphic design. If you're offering business cards, or if you're, say, offering yoga classes, that's something that you could easily do without a physical location, right? You don't need an office. Where you need to submit a business proposal is if a big thing is if you need any kind of government assistance. If you need construction or locksmiths for any reason at all, that needs to be a business proposal. If you want a business bank account, so let's say you have your graphic design business and it's booming and you're not wanting your personal account to be used anymore, just even if you don't have a physical location, you can still submit a business proposal. We'll work on getting you, even if you don't want a physical place to operate out of, we can at least get you going on a business bank account with the banking company. So I'm sure there's more examples to what would warrant a proposal and what wouldn't, but there's nothing saying you need a business proposal to operate, or a business proposal or a business license to operate a business. So especially a service that does not require a physical, that's another thing. If you have physical products you want to sell, we do recommend, if it's not something that is available at the existing stores, we do recommend submitting a business proposal so that we can work with like wholesale companies on getting like packaging in for those items. But outside of that, you do not need that in order to operate your business. We've also had some requests for like events at public spaces. We do not currently have event permits. It is something that we're looking into, and we want to really we want to try and provide a better overall experience in the future for like events. If you want to hold events, this is like any type of events, big, small, anything. Right now, if there is a public space that is, you want to hold an event at, then that's fine. You do not need a permit at this time. Once that is implemented, we will let you know. We do ask that you not, if it's an event you want to hold at like an already owned place, we recommend that you work with the owner of that company or business. You work with them on permission to hold the event. But I know that there is a million other things I would love to talk to you guys about. And actually, while I was putting together this agenda, I had a lot of things ready to talk about, but we are going to have a Q&A at the end. And I think I'm just going to let some things kind of, there's so many things we're working on, but I wanted to speak with you specifically on the things that we're really putting a hard focus on at this time. And I am sure you have plenty of questions about either what I went over or what I have not gone over. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just let Wade introduce himself. And I'm going to go ahead and step down. But I really appreciate you all for coming. And after Wade, the justices will speak, and then we will open up the floor. So thank you guys.
Good evening. As most of you in this room are well aware, I am Dr. Elliott, former chief of psychology for the hospital group and current senior advisor to Mayor Carter. I there's no easy way to say this. I want to help impact change for everybody that's here. I want to help most of you reach whatever goals you have within the city, and I believe I do have the ability alongside Mayor Carter to help with that. Most of you know me from a lot of you in this room know me, especially for my previous background. So I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you from this side of me as well. Most of you only know me as the psychologist doctor, but I'd like to get to know you as not only that, but as a person that I can help in the city. Of course, I've been around for the last week and a half or so, advertising, being around City Hall. I look forward to getting to know what dreams and goals you all have for this city, and hope to help you reach them in some capacity. Going to kind of keep it short and sweet here. Without further ado, I'm going to open this up to Chief Justice Hart and the rest of the members of the DOJ panel that are with her now.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Elliott. So hello, everyone. As you all know, I am Chief Justice Echo Hart. If you didn't know, I am, yes, now your Chief Justice. I'm kind of up here to reintroduce myself again to citizens, and to show that we also have our two other justices over here to my right, your left, Justice Elias Pendragon and Justice Carlos Alexander. They are both fantastic justices and have both worked. Obviously, you've probably both seen them both if you were present in our city before. They will be overseeing a lot of the docket as well as myself, and we still oversee, legislation and penal code changes and anything like that. We do welcome. I always like to reaffirm this to our citizens is we do always welcome any suggestions for changes to our department. We are more than happy to hear any of the citizens out on potential changes, whether that's today or whether if you want to bring it to us privately. We are always, if we are available in the city, we are happy to hear you out. I will also state attorneys are still under our department. Currently, our sole attorney is Andrei Novikov. He could not be here with us today, but I am sure some of you have probably met him already. With that in mind, we are currently hiring attorneys. If you are wanting to be one, whether it is a junior attorney or not, currently we are looking to hire attorneys. So if you have any interest, please kind of come and see us afterwards. We are more than happy to speak with you. With that being said, though, I do want to kind of readdress something with our Madam Mayor. She had addressed that flight school is incoming. With that means there are legislation and penal code changes coming. Currently, legislation has been changed to include aviation laws in our city. There are 3 specific licenses now that are from the training level to a helicopter and plane license that now will be required when you with flying in our city. We also we do have restricted airspaces, which is above any of the police departments, hospitals, medical centers, the Noose building, and fire departments. These are considered restricted airspace. With that also being said, though, there is a minimum cruising limit for flying within the state. We have determined it is 150 meters, along with the downtown area, which is kind of the canals and the freeways, kind of, think Legion Square is the center. This is all going to be in the penal code, a map of it, but that is a higher cruising limit altitude. Please keep that in mind. Like I said, there's some other changes that some more finalized things you can read and review with Debbie. This is all accessible through Debbie. Currently, there's a small glitch in the MDT where you will see the legislation has appeared twice. It's obviously only going to be in there once, but there will also be some new penal code changes. I'm also going to reaffirm with you guys that there has been some legislation changes beyond aviation that I did want to make our citizens aware of. And that has to do with firearms and weapons licenses. Currently, our our Self-Defense Act has had some small changes in it. In the act of transparency, I do want to address those changes to our citizens. As those who have already had a firearms license have probably seen, you do have to have a profile created in order to have a firearms license. It is part of the process. I also am going to, in the act of transparency, let you know that we are also wanting people to make sure that negligent ownership of a firearm is now a new charge in our penal code. Basically, what this states is that if you are owning or using a firearm in a way that is that could be failure to report it as lost or stolen, brandishing it in a non-threatening way or manner that is not in self-defense, or misplacing the firearm in a way that could be obtained by another individual, this does kind of act as a misdemeanor, negligent ownership of a firearm. So I do want to make people aware of that. With that being said, if your firearm does go missing or is stolen, that is something you do need to report. We now include that in our legislation, where you need to take all reasonably available measures to report the loss of this firearm, and that is to any available law enforcement officer as soon as possible. Basically, and if there are no law enforcement officers available, just do this as soon as you are able to see that one is available. We just making sure that all bases are covered. Beyond that, there's only other changes to the legislation is just outlining that licensing of hunting and fishing is now added to our legislation, but that should be the extent of the changes we have made within our legislation. There are a few penal code changes as well that you can kind of review with Debbie again. But yeah, like I said, if you have any changes or ideas that could potentially, lead to new legislation or penal code, we are always welcome to hear them. At this time, though, that should be about everything. Madam Mayor, was there anything else you would like to address?
I don't think so. If we want to just move on to the Q&A.
Yeah, all right.
We can both stand
Yeah.
up here so that we can both answer.
All right, guys, if you have any questions or, thoughts on anything, please you're welcome one at a time. Come to the podium here in the middle to ask those questions of us.
Also, if you just have anything you want to say or like advertise or anything, you do have some fellow peers in here. So just anybody's welcome to come up. Nobody.
What? That's surprising.
Not a single person has something to
That's-
say. That's insane.
That is surprising as hell. I mean, we could also, if any of the
Oh, if
justices or
I saw a hand.
Oh, hand. You can
I
come
saw a
up.
hand.
You don't have to be shy. Come.
The reason why I wasn't gonna ask my question was because I already asked it to the mayor, and the mayor already answered mine, so I don't have anything to ask
Okay.
regarding what.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
That's-
you're good. You're fine.
Fine. I was gonna say if the justices or the clerks have anything they would like to introduce themselves, I would recommend you guys can go ahead and do that. If you want to, not to put you on the spot.
You don't have to. You're welcome to, this is a good place with so many people to, kind of ask things that maybe other people would need to know the answer to, but you're always welcome to also just, reach out to one of us when you see us if you would rather not ask in front of everybody. It's also not just for questions. If you want to come up, if you have any recommendations for anything, or suggestions that maybe either myself or the mayor's office or the DOJ can take a look at, we would be happy to listen.
I'll say if no one has questions at this time, I know some of us can. I know I will be here within the city hall limits for a while after. If anybody needs to come up to me privately, so me and a couple of the other, I believe a couple of the other justices should be here. So you're welcome to come
I will
talk to
as
me
well.
after.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us clerks have anything to add on.
And then if that is all, then I guess we can adjourn our. Well, there's a couple new people. As I say, if anybody new has walked in, we are at the questions part of our town hall. If you have any questions, you are welcome to come up, and we will answer them for you. Give another minute, and if no one has anything, we'll just go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you all showing up, and not to continue, not to sound like a broken record, but if you have anything, please bring it to us. The mayor's office, Department of Justice. We do like to hear from you. So yeah, I'm always available. You can always email me if you can't find me hanging around at City Hall.
All right. Well,
All right.
have
We
a
look
good
forward to
Gonna
seeing you
bang-
guys at the next one.
We unfortunately don't have a gavel to adjourn this meeting. So
Oh, no.
I can adjourn this meeting another way, but everybody would need to walk away from here.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. I am adjourning this meeting in another way. I have been given permission to do this, just so everyone is aware. There we go.
Perfect.
With that being
break at some point.
Have you made sure that the desk is
It was
reinforced?
regarding
Yeah.
the schedule.
Yes, it is.
Surprised
Yep.
nobody
One
had
thing of
anything.
note, and I'm
Nobody.
sure
Not
the
a single
PD is on
person.
your ass for this
Everyone's
as
just
well.
It's fine. There's
The
definitely
one
not a
thing
dent.
that is
There's
kind of
definitely
serious.
not a
So if
dent in there.
people, are hearing something for the first time, the questions don't like come later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
Alright, I have my list
I
of
have-
things. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, yeah, I've got my list of things I gotta work through with other justices, and yeah, if you guys have anything you need us to fix, hopefully we can get that situated.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna work on. You might see some updates to the. I already talked to the clerks, but you might see some updates to what they have access to in the Discordia and stuff. Because I'm gonna work on getting that all swapped over,
Mhm.
but it shouldn't change for the most part. If anything, it'll just be like a new chat to replace an old chat or something.
Sounds good. I know I've got an internal memo going out to, I believe, all of the major departments about some of the. It's more so related to PD and med staff, but I can make sure Mayor's office gets a copy of it as well. It's basically like holds, huts, 5150s, any of that. But if you have anything else that you think needs to be on it, just let me know, and I can include it. It's for internal memo for all the departments. So.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
I also know there's something that's going to be happening out of city. So
Anyone who needs to go do that, go do that. Who wants to go
yeah,
do that?
that's probably going to
Oh
be
my god, I have an online
happening
class to go
soon.
to.
Yes. Online class. I will probably
Yeah.
just be in my office, but also maybe tune into the class, but also be working on stuff in my office. So.
Actually, I'll say if anybody who turns it, I think I know what that online class is for. If anybody figures out how to make judges' robes, let me know.
Yes.
We will see.
Yes.
I can try that.
Yeah, Elias doesn't want them, but it's fine. He doesn't have to wear them.
Miss Hart,
Yes.
could I quickly ask you a question over
Yeah,
here?
of course.
Wanna
Alright,
pass
I
on
think
the
I will.
narcotic substance.
How can I help
Um,
you?
How long do you think you're going to be over?
I also gave the clerk.
My
Uh,
brother has a few questions, and he needs to get out of
Oh yeah,
the PD, but that place is a maze, so it may take him a bit.
it's all good. I should be around for a
I've
while.
actually-
I've
okay,
got
so I
some
got
stuff
kind
I'm
of
working on
lucky
with some of the other justices, so we'll be around, kind of working. So if you need us,
Alrighty.
my number should be in the yellow pages. It's also on the government app now as well, so you can call me directly from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Do you know if the chief of police is going to be around tonight?
well, I guess-
I
Well, now this is awkward
Do
because I
not
just
know.
realized.
Okay. I had a question I need to ask him about our for some stuff for our security guard potentially. We have a security guard here now, as you probably saw, Travis Riley. So I want to talk to him about
yes.
potentially seeing if there's a way to collaborate with you guys on potentially getting him some non-lethals. We'll see. Like
yeah,
very basic non-lethal, like stuff that he doesn't need to buy extra stuff for. Like the. And like DOJ can obviously cover cost of any of that. We just wanted to see if that was a possibility. Much like how I have my gavel on my back here.
Yeah, no, I think that couldn't happen. But,
Yeah.
Next time I see him around, if he hasn't already contacted you, I will let him know to get in contact with you.
Yep, I will. I'll probably email him about it. But yeah, no worries. Yeah, just give me a call whenever you guys need my assistance with stuff.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Do you think everything will be all right here, or do you still want me to
Things going well
stay
at the
around?
hospital.
We should be fine here. I think at this point there's less of us, and I don't see anybody I don't really recognize, so should be okay.
I'd say at least you have people.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Have a good day.
The DOJ is now down to I think is it 5 people that are officially hired onto the DOJ now?
If we
Yeah,
include
5.
our Travis now, because Travis is officially DOJ now.
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully we can get some attorneys, and that will assist the fact.
Yes.
I need Travis to apologize to my wife.
What did he do?
It's a whole thing.
Oh gosh.
It's a whole thing.
Doesn't want to talk to me, so that's fine. That's whatever.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that one.
I mean, he broke into my hospital.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
all right. He just doesn't
After
want-
being
he just
told
doesn't
not
want
to.
Talk to us, so it's fine.
Well then.
Okay. Yeah. Echo, the and Carlos as well. The narcotic schedule is I was just discussing it with him briefly. It's now available to us. It will be updated, and in the event that we come across something that is being marketed as a street drug but is in fact air or similarly non-narcotic substance, it will be marked as 0.
Okay. This is about the whole comment that Andre made to the PD.
Yes.
My God, I saw that and was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" All right, yep, that sounds good to me. I will. I'm gonna take a read through it too. Yeah, we just want to make sure everything was up to date with our legislation, that everything still stood. With the
I just
scheduling.
wanted to have it in case we got someone being a jack and trying to say that their marijuana isn't a scheduled narcotic and thus can't be taken from, or their cocaine or whatever.
Is this a document we can include in our legislation in that act so that people can have access to look at it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
Okay.
at least the actual scheduling of the street drugs, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not strictly specified, I believe, in our legislation. We just have them as scheduled, certain schedules. So I just want to make sure that people know exactly what it is, because some people are not as aware. So
Yeah, I've been meaning to see about getting it somewhere public so that people can see the ones that would need to be scheduled that are
We may need to have two separate versions, one that is hospital internal and one that is public, that regarding the permission requirements. If you need help to set that up, let me know, and I will help you with getting it done so that so that they work off of each other and you only need to edit one.
Yeah.
and I believe that should
If
be
you
fine.
need help with that, let me know.
I'm still working on this internal memo document, but it's including basically it's for PD, basically all government departments, and it's including kind of like a bunch of stuff, and one of them is 5150s. So if you guys have specific policies with that you want changed or anything, kind of let me know, because the way I know we kind of went about it is it has to be sort of approved by hospital and judges for 5150, and it depends on the type. If it's a violent felon versus a non-violent, if it determines Parsons or Bolingbroke. So if you have, I know that much. So if that's kind of anything else has changed or you want change with that, kind of let me know, because I'm trying to make sure that we had some confusion, I know previously, and I'm trying to make sure we don't have any confusion with kind of how that stuff goes moving forward if that ever is needed.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we kind of set in stone from previous experiences that we make it 72 hours maximum.
Okay. So 72
Yeah.
hours maximum for the and that's is it and that's so okay. I think we
That's maximum they can be held unless they receive a psych evaluation, and then
Yeah.
we think they need further help and need to stay for longer. But
okay. I know we had upped I'll tell you this because it's going to be public information eventually, but we have for our holds, we do have judge approved holds extended now for PD at least to 96. Do you want that same for 5150s or still only at 72? Just gives everyone a little bit more time, I know, in case they have things outside of the city going on. If you guys want to keep it at 72, that's perfectly fine. Just wanted to verify that with you. You can also think about it. You do not have to make a decision right now. Just letting you know that's kind of the where we were at with, at least for PD hold specifically, they got extended. So I just want to offer that same courtesy to you guys if you want that.
yeah, let's do that. Just
Yeah.
so it's consistent.
Okay. All right. I will make sure that gets changed then. All right. I think that's everything I had. Is it? Do you guys have anything?
I don't really have anything else.
Neither do I.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate the help on all that stuff.
Yes.
Of course.
I need to go find a restroom outside of City Hall. If anybody, I will be back in a bit. Because we still don't have restrooms in City Hall.
Thinking of heading back to the apartment.
Deal, but it's better than nothing. And then
I can reach it from here.
I will be back, guys, so be good.
Yes.
Don't do anything stupid. I will be right back. I'm trusting you guys not do stupid shit.
I'll go.
Yeah, just I saw Echo leave the other direction.
I think Mayor.
Mayor went to.
Hello, I have returned. Have you guys been gremlins while I was gone? No? Good. I was waiting for someone to be a gremlin while I was gone. Because that would happen. Alright. So, sorry, we had a town hall, and yeah. Now... Yeah. Now we're gonna work on stuff.
Helicopters are
Hello.
fixed wing.
I don't want actual notifications, just hearing the number there.
With my
saying
luck,
that
I
the
highly
new
doubt
message is
this.
saying.
I don't think so.
Carlos,
I'm
do you
saying
have
you
a
could.
profile in the MDT?
Even want to.
Or should.
Alright. All motions
It's possible
responded
that I
to.
don't.
Save it. It's not necessarily
L. That's
Oh,
it.
dang, that was... I need to
Yeah,
talk
I-
to Noel about like the whole like clearly they did not read the new blood docket changes about one-to-one responses, so I'm gonna have to we might have to remind them about that. I completely forgot about that.
Nice.
Come on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah,
this is
that'll be fine.
way earlier than
August
I'm usually up,
2nd,
so I'm
6
gonna
p.m.
say bye to people and probably go back to the apartment and eat.
Yeah, I don't have a
Talk to you guys
profile.
later.
Do we need to get you a profile?
Are we good
Is
here?
it better?
I may go back and to the apartment and eat some stuff because I'm not usually awake this early. So
You're good. We're just gonna be around. I think one of the officer Allegros said apparently I think both of the officer Allegros have a question for me. I have no idea in what aspect. So,
amazing. All right.
yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah,
I
you're
could have
good.
just asked it at the meeting,
I
but
guess it's a private question, and apparently it's Officer Noel Allegro who has a question for me, and they're not currently around at the moment.
oh,
So
of course.
yeah.
Yep. All right. All right. Y'all take care.
All right, bye. Thank
All
you.
right,
I
have a good
appreciate
night.
it.
And
I'm just going to sua sponte order on the just create an order on the docket practice or docket motion.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's something maybe I could have brought up at the town hall, but I mean, it's not really. Maybe that's something we should talk to in a PD meeting about, like just hey, docket changes. I don't know.
Yeah,
think-
potentially.
I think that's mostly for attorneys and PD, so
Yeah, we only have the one
doesn't
attorney
make
who
sense-
who knows
doesn't
what's
make sense.
going on.
Yeah.
We can include it in our internal government memo.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's something that I guess I can include.
Since we're writing up this whole memo anyways.
Yeah, I figured it would be good to add it to the MDT announcements area because everybody who has access to the MDT will then be able to see
That's
it.
that's a good point. Add it to the bulletin or
Yep.
whatever it's called.
Yep, then everybody will have access and see it, and nobody can say, "Hey, I didn't know this existed."
Yeah, we have access to write those announcements, so
Yep.
you can always double check with PD and
Hello.
if you have any qualms with it.
Hello.
Say, I believe your sister told me you had a question for me.
Yes, not questions, or well, I have a questions for Justice Pendragon, but more so just things I want to make you guys aware of with the penal code.
Okay.
As we have some charges that were previously in the penal code that are now gone.
If it's accomplice and accessory, there were a lot removed.
Yeah.
But which one specifically are you looking at?
Right now the concern is burglary, as we've been getting a lot of burglary calls recently.
Okay.
And not being able to charge, someone with accomplice to burglary. Greatly lessens the fine and sentence, or well, not greatly, but yeah.
Having the accessory charge for getaway drivers may be necessary.
But
like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean joyriding?
Okay. No. So, an accessory to a crime is someone who isn't actively participating in the crime itself, but in some way renders aid before and or after the crime. So, if it's, say, a bank robbery, you have your 3 perpetrators inside the bank, and all 3 of them run out of the bank to someone waiting in a car. That person in the car was never at any point inside of the bank, and as such cannot be considered to have been part of the actual bank robbery. They did not hold anyone hostage. They didn't grab any money. They were just waiting in the car. They are not part of the actual crime, and as such cannot be found beyond a reasonable doubt liable for that crime. However, they are an accessory in that they were planned to be there, they were intended to be there, and help the others perform that crime.
Yes, and typically we charge them with accomplice, specifically if they're helping with getaway driving.
Yeah, so strictly speaking, and I think I might have made this error with my previous ruling, but strictly speaking, an accessory is not present at all. An accomplice is present, but not actively performing the crime at hand. So they would be inside the bank doing other things, but not the one actually cracking the vault and grabbing the money. And do we strictly need all of them? Maybe. Should we? Probably. Could we get away with full charges for anyone who's inside and accessory for those waiting outside? Yeah, we could. Or accomplice. We just may need to decide on the structure we want for that, and the federal government may have a say in it.
For example, in this example you gave, would it really be an accomplice, even if they are not the ones cracking the vault?
They would be a primary actor.
They are still robbing a bank.
Yes, they are still a primary actor.
So-
They are still holding the hostages so that PD can't rush in.
An accomplice doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Accessory, yes. Accomplice is kind of a useless charge in that case.
Well, I'm fairly certain prior we didn't really have any accessory charges, specifically for things like bank robberies, and burglaries. Our main perpetrator and accomplice charges are separated by who enters the premises and who does not. Is typically how we've always differentiated accomplice and not accomplice with those two. I'm just simply asking if I'm not really asking, but just because I wasn't sure if you guys were made aware. I was told possibly not
About
the lack of specifically
So yeah, I'm
burglary.
I'm the one who made the change. If we're talking about like the specifically accessory and accomplice charges, I am the one who made that final decision to get rid of majority of the accessory and accomplice charges because, from my experience as a justice and from what I saw, majority of them were never. I'm gonna be honest. The majority of them, no one ever was charged with them. The whole point with also removing them is so we don't ever over legislate people. Was part of it.
Yes, which makes sense.
Yes, and so
But
we're open to them as long as they're like you said, like what you're doing now, bringing us showing that there is potentially a need for it with crimes that have happened.
Genuine examples.
Yes, that's what we're looking for, not what ifs. Basically.
I can give you an example right now. So
Yeah,
burglary.
If we have
only...
a genuine example, then absolutely we can see about reinstating it.
So burglary.
And what you're doing now, if you have seen genuine examples of someone doing a burglary with someone waiting outside as a lookout and getaway driver, then yeah, we probably should reinstate that accessory charge.
Yeah. If you tell me the report number, I can actually just take a look at it. You don't have to.
I'll have to find a
Keeping in mind that you
a
cannot charge
specific
those
incident.
individuals you've already seen with it ex post
Oh,
facto
yeah.
and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
I'm fully aware. Oh, no. You'll have to give me a bit because unfortunately the scroll option is broken for our instance tab.
Oh, it is for you guys?
Yep, so I can only go down, like the furthest I can see down is like what?
You can
report
still
46?
search.
Yeah, it just is more.
Are you referring to? Let me
Okay.
see, what report is it? The 55 report?
No.
Where there's. Okay.
One report that I know specifically, it was the case was incident 44, where essentially Nifty Nabbers was inside the house, taking stuff out of the house. We saw her taking things out of the house, saw her entering, exiting, etc., and she pled guilty. Riley Hart was standing outside, masked up, witnessing all of this, and essentially was the getaway driver. Because burglary specifically states, let me find it. The act of entering into a building illegally with intent to commit a crime, especially theft. The specification of the act of entering into a building makes it so that Riley Hart is not able to be charged with any kind of burglary crime. All she was able to be charged with was, the getaway driving and then possession, even though she actively participated in the crime. So that's a situation where having the accomplice or accessory to burglary is a needed charge.
Okay. I can see that.
And then I also have another incident where it's not related to the accessory or accomplice stuff.
Okay.
Instead, let me find it. Okay, incident 55, where previously we had a charge that was called misuse of a rental vehicle, where essentially instead of using a vehicle that they stole or owned, they would instead go to rent a vehicle to commit a crime. And technically, they have permission to drive that vehicle, but at the same time, it's not a personal vehicle.
The issue there becomes,
So there's no consequence.
and we'd have to talk to the federal government about this. Is the rental vehicle spot considered privately owned or government owned entity? Because if it's a government owned entity, then yes, that makes sense for us to have a penal code. But if they're going to tell us it is a privately owned entity that the government has no control over, that would have to be them performing a civil suit against them. It would not fall under PD or government. That would be the issue that I see with it. We'll have to talk to federal. I would say we'd have to talk to federal government about that.
Sorry, what was the question?
So there used to be a charge. I think it was entered after you had left the city for a bit. It was misuse of a rental vehicle was a penal code charge. I did not add it back in because I don't have confirmation from our federal government whether rental vehicles are rental vehicle shop is considered government owned or privately owned.
Yeah, we probably ought to.
If it's privately owned, there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. I mean, either way, we could legislate it, right? We could make a penal code statute for it, as in misuse of a rented vehicle. But it entirely depends on what frankly, the federal government wants.
Yeah. Because it kind of goes into play almost like with what we had to do with firearms, because firearms they are automatically it's a weird way to put it, but let's just say firearms are automatically registered. So it's a weird analysis comparison, but it is. So the police department knows automatically that whose firearms purchased from ammunitions are whoever the firearms are, like who purchased them, etc. That was a really weird way to put it. Apologies. However, in terms of rental vehicles, it comes into play. Is it one federal owned? Because if it is, then yes. If it's not, then that's another question.
Frankly, it's a question of whether or not the federal government wants to have an additional charge to disincentivize, frankly, rental vehicles becoming the vehicle of choice for crime.
Yeah, because the issue so the call specifically that we had is they rented a Go Postal truck, and there's either no deposit for it or there's a very small deposit for it. There is
that one is
private, I understand.
So I'm going to be honestly with that. That's a different scenario than our rental vehicles. The Go Postal truck has to do with somebody's occupation. We can't police. That would be not something we could write anything about. That is to do with
strictly speaking, we could, but at the same time, it would be a difficult charge to formulate and enforce at times, considering places like the trucking depot and the vehicles you get from that.
Would that be a
we would essentially
rented
be
vehicle or a work vehicle?
That's a work vehicle.
It's a work vehicle.
And we don't.
Different case.
Their municipal jobs are no longer housed under City Hall.
I mean, it's a matter of the.
In the terms of the rental vehicles, has that been seen often? The use of rental vehicles?
It was a thing we saw a couple of times previously before the collapse, and then I believe it was around the same time the new charge was added. And then I haven't really seen it in a couple, month or two collapse, and then it was something that yesterday or the day before, whenever this incident was, that I realized was, it's kind of like, I understand it's not a rental vehicle, it's just
ugly Christmas sweater.
It's kind of like what people are doing is they're taking this job and not doing the job. They're simply just taking the vehicle so that they can rob a place and then essentially get very little decoins for it. And it's just trying to find ways for.
I would say if it's not been seen, we wouldn't worry about that. We start seeing it often, then it may become a question.
Alrighty.
Because I know
Yeah.
this was there. I'm pretty sure people used, if I'm not mistaken, from what I had seen a long time ago. Granted, it was a long time ago. People it happened, not often, but it did happen. People used garbage trucks every now and then, but no, this was never brought up to us at
Yeah.
that point either. So, but yeah, no, it doesn't mean we can't look at it and see what we could do with it. It's just really depends on a lot of it's going to depend on the federal government because yeah, that's gonna be a bit iffy with some of them, I think.
Alrighty.
But it's definitely something. I will say the accomplished charge. I mean, if we all kind of agree on it, that's something we can easily add in if we need to. And then the other, in regards, yeah, the other ones we'll take a look and see.
Alrighty. And then my last thing was just a question on the docket is I just want clarification on what is meant by attaching the evidence properly, as that's how I've submitted evidence in the past, and there was no issue with it, so I'm just wanting clarification on how I should be submitting evidence.
Remind me, Echo, attorneys, do they have access to police reports
If
on the
they're
MDT?
no, they have to FOIA them, and if they've been FOIA'd, I know there was an issue. Andre made me aware that there was an issue with FOIAs not being able to happen because there was an issue with the MBT. But if it's been
Yeah.
FOIA'd, still, even if it's in the docket, that does need to be shared with him as well.
The thing, officer, is that the evidence you've posted on the docket is the police report. The police report has additional evidence attached to it, images in this case. Those images are not available on the docket for the defense attorney. The report is also in images, so the defense attorney is unable to access the images that are attached to the report, which are essential for the case itself.
So if there was a document rather than images, there'd be no issue?
If it was a document with those images attached, that would be less of an issue.
And attached, do you mean the links working,
I need
or
to
you
be
want
able
to physically
to
see them in the report?
I need to be able to, at the very least, be able to click a link and get the image.
Alrighty. Alright, sounds good.
Also, I'm just gonna put this out here. No sweat on that because we hadn't really announced it publicly. We put some new we put some new guidelines on the docket. I know you dealt with a lot of the docket.
I'm writing the order as we speak.
Do you want me to wait until you put the order out, or do you want me to just?
Yes, please.
Okay, never mind.
Alrighty.
I'm going to say nothing.
Alrighty, then I'll keep an eye. I'll get that fixed later tonight. Because I'll also have to figure that out, because that actually was not my FOIA. Sorry, I just wanted clarification on that, and I will pass that on to other PD, as that was another member. Sorry, just quickly reading that.
All right, there we go. That should be everything on that book at hand.
Okay. So it's now been changed from a motion made and then a rebuttal. Because I know that was slightly different.
More so that
you don't get a redirect on motions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get your initial motion, and they get a response to it, and then if I need more, I'll ask for it.
Firm, understood.
We kind of had to initially. That was the format that I had made a while ago was because we had so much going on that docket at the time.
Because I was being a nuisance.
No, don't worry. Erickson at the time was being a nuisance. It was being, as you could say, quote unquote nuisance as well. And it's just more so so we keep the docket not too overcrowded, and just gives everybody kind of a bit of an equal opportunity. If you see something that, always can come of a motion of something else, you're more than welcome to, make a sense thing after it. But yeah.
Which is perfectly understandable. I understood very completely.
Hello.
Hello. How can we help you?
I saw a mishap with the legislation. I just want to know which ones you want to delete.
So let me just help you with that real quick.
Alrighty,
I don't know. I have access to the MT, but I'm just gonna look in here so I can. So yeah, we just need one of the civil aviation acts kept. That it should have the full amount. The basically ID 8 and ID 7 legislations can be deleted. Yeah, there was a weird mishap with the MDT where I had inputted it and then proceeded to actually close my MDT down and start it back up a couple times and still was not able to see it, so thought it was a glitch error. But it just took a few minutes, I guess, to process it.
Thank
so
you, Your Honor.
No problem. So now we know to just, once we put something new in there, give it 5 minutes and then maybe check it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to wait, so I'll look into that. But so you just, which one do you, because I see 24.
The way if within our legislation we have 2 civilian aviation acts posted by me about an hour ago. Only one of those need to stay, and then there's one that's just listed new legislation with nothing in it that needs to be deleted as well. Yeah, because they're both, the civilian aviation acts are the same. It was just accidentally inputted twice.
Yep.
So
Okay. So I'll just keep ID 8 and delete everything else apart from obviously the ones before it.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, it was just a weird little glitch in the tablet.
Yeah. All right. I'll have a look into that.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right, they're taking care of the legislation. They removed the other 2, and they're gonna look at why the posting for us was so delayed.
Yeah.
But in regards to accomplice, I'm gonna be honest. He gave the examples that I was looking for. I'm okay with adding that in. If we it would just be, I believe it's a felony right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Burglary.
It should be the accomplice charge should be the same type as
Yeah.
normal charge.
So yeah, it's felony, 10 months, $800 fine. Okay, let me go to the online version too while I'm here.
That's on the lower end of a felony, huh? At the same time, we have a 7-month felony. Huh.
Well, because burglary is like if they actually ended up robbing something, then it changes to robbery, right?
Mm-hmm. No, the 7-month felony I was looking at was vandalism of government property. That's a felony, apparently.
There are people who've been charged with that already.
Yeah.
I think mainly burglary is for houses and stuff like that, while robbery is for commercial.
No, absolutely. It has to do with the way force is used for them. But no, I was just looking at it. It's interesting.
Okay, so for the burglary, I was looking to basically, it's pretty similar to the same, I was going to just put to knowingly assist in the act of entering into a building illegally with the intent to commit a crime. Basically, that's all I'm adding.
Yes.
I'm thinking either.
You can just look at the accomplice to robbery and do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking potentially.
Yeah, just to add to knowingly assist in front
Yeah.
of the main portion of the
Yeah.
statute. That's fine.
Although the capital T on accomplice to robbery is it's giving me a bit of something.
Let me fix it.
Look, when you've spent hours on hours doing these,
It happens.
occasionally
I just noticed it happens to almost every accomplice charge.
I mean, there was the marijuana as well.
I like that one though. That one was good.
Okay, question now becomes time and fines. Do we want to cut the time in half for accomplice, or do we want it more like 7 or 8 kind of level, 7 or 8 months? What are we thinking?
I think 7 would be good.
7, and then I'm thinking fine wise, $600 fine.
Let's see. Would that be roughly in line?
It's 800 for the what it is right now.
I think 600 is okay. Robbery comes from 400 to 1,000. So I think 800 to 600 is relatively in line.
To be about 20-ish%, 20 to 25%, I think, is what the if you compare it to like robbery versus accomplice robbery. So yeah, so
I'd say
600 is exactly 25%, so that'd be fine.
It's 25. I'd say around 25 is the ideal. Although the robbery charge was a little bit more than 25.
I'm gonna not officially add this to our MDT yet because I think I'm gonna look at some aviation penal codes to rework what we have and write some more tonight before I go to bed so we can have those in there as well. So I'm gonna do that all at once. If you guys want to help me with that, I'm gonna be here for probably I'm gonna be on duty at least for another like hour and a half to work on this. So
I think I'm going to head to bed.
okay.
But I will be around. If not tomorrow, the day after.
Okay. I'm just gonna working on it. I mean, we don't have to. That's another thing. I guess I don't have to work on it tonight. I probably will, just so because we have the legislation. As long as the penal code is out before the flight school is officially open, I think we will be okay. That's what matters for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have any input on bar license, kind of start like thinking about that. I guess we're gonna start. That's gonna be the next thing we, for sure, I think release. We might also have to ask if we can. We might have to see if we can ask Jeff to move from our office though out here.
Yeah, potentially.
Because I don't think we should have to like be like watching super closely for a bar license, but I guess that falls into play well, actually maybe that's wrong because an attorney, I guess anybody can have a bar license. It's just whether you're actually hired on as an actual attorney will be
As
up to
a
us.
practicing attorney, yeah.
Okay, so then yeah.
I think those should be separate matters.
Yeah, that's what I agree with too. Because apparently Xander threatened to sue for discrimination because I won't give him a bar license. I'm like, I don't have access to bar licenses right now.
Yeah.
They want a bar license.
Don't know. He's wanted a bar license for like forever, so it's whatever. I'll see if we can maybe we can get Jeff moved, like maybe we can get him moved upstairs. Maybe we can ask him to move upstairs over to like that left kind of side of the courthouse, so that way he can be in his private area for people to take the exam. So
yeah, I mean, there's always the gallery.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see about that. That's the next thing to think about. I'm gonna go through the attorney handbook, and whenever they have scheduling done, that like version that we can put to the public done, we'll include that in our legislation, so that way people know. But other than that, I'm gonna look through the attorney handbook because it definitely has some things that are not supposed to be there.
Now that I've scheduled my court case. Do we want to try and input it into the whole scheduling system?
Let's try it. You want to come check? Yeah, say come check this out. We're gonna see about doing this. Okay, I'm gonna read you the stuff that you'll need then for it, and you can. Do you want me to do that so you can don't have to switch between files?
Yes.
All right.
This would be case number 2, or the
Uh,
actual case number of the PD report.
Does it have to be a number based?
Looks like it.
Okay, let's do report because the reports can never repeat numbers, and you really only try one report once. I feel like one incident.
At the same time, civil court
we could make
doesn't always have a report number. Do we want to make them separate? We have to make them the same series of numbers.
How about we do this? What if we do criminal as like 1, 0, and then the report number?
I don't think we can do that because they go into the same file system, right?
Yeah, no, and that's just for our tracking. Then we can do civils as like 2, 0, and then start at 1, or something like that.
I don't know if using the report number is the best option, honestly.
The issues we have civil cases,
Yeah, the issue is civil cases because they don't necessarily have a report number for them.
And cases with multiple reports.
Fair point. Okay. Do you want to do a thing where we do like, you know, like kind of how our penal code has different variations of each, you know, PC like 1 something, PC 200s in the 200s.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then
I think we want to do a sequential series.
Okay, so then just
4-digit to start off, and then just increasing sequential number from there.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
And do we start with this one or the previous one? Because the previous one didn't, the bench trial I did didn't really.
Yeah, just start with this one because bench trials, we're not really probably going to be able to do this here. I still got to talk to IT about getting added, adding our own little Department of Justice area for reports, so we can add bench trial information.
I'll do 0001 then.
Okay.
Actually, it's a cool. Okay, it says case name in the actual file, and then it has a numbered ID. Okay, that's whatever. This will be. The date is 02.
Oh, I just saw your messages, Fossil. Yeah. Think
and then it's a question of, I guess we're using the American date format.
I think it depends, yeah.
We should use the year, month, day.
And then it is set for, set up 6 p.m.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Easter is EST if our, you know, if the court is using Eastern brain time, you know.
Right. Let's see. Judge is me. Defendant is.
Technically would be, oh, I guess it would be, yeah, Andre.
And then, I'm fairly sure I just clicked. Oh, no, it's defendant and then defense. Defense is
Which is
also.
both for him, yeah.
Let's see. Jury. No jury. if I did we figure out if it needed to have a fee?
I think for some it depend. I think it is it's that's if there is a chance for fees for this one because it's an appeal and the amount if he won it would come from PD, not us. Well, does no? It would still come from the. No, actually, there's no place to put the other side, so it would come from us. Huh.
I mean, it's not going to be a fee for him.
Probably just put one for right now. You can always edit that if you need to later on.
Yeah.
If we'll have to figure that out.
And now it should be viewable by the public. Go have a look at.
Sorry, I was looking at my MDT.
Fine. It's on there.
It is?
It is there.
Oh yeah. That's good. I wonder if we could put can we I hate that we can only do numbers for that.
I think we might be able to do more than numbers. So in the future we should probably do
The actual name.
number and then the name of the case. In this case, the people versus like Andrei Novikov. But we can look at that for the next scheduled case, just to be sure. But it's good that it's working as intended.
Yeah.
And then before the case, I just have to come here, start it, and then over there to do the thing.
Yeah, and then
were you able to see it there?
Yeah.
Do anything there?
Yeah. Tiffany has a listing for it.
Yeah, but you can click it and see anything, right?
Yeah, you couldn't click it or see anything.
No. It's basically just to show that there is something coming up, which I think for scheduled trials, if we want to make the public aware, if they're especially public trials, I'm gonna do Birdie for the most part for most of them, I think, because we don't need to publicly announce on the government app that there's gonna be a trial.
No.
Every time.
Birdie for start of trial and things like that.
If we anything that's like more of like the bigger anything that's Hut, I think could be okay to be put on the government app.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then if we have traffic court, whenever that gets situated, we can put that on the government app, obviously. Traffic court, since that's only going to happen like twice a month. And then bench trials are kind of just up to everyone's discretion. Whoever wants to, wherever you want to put that, really, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. I had this idea that penal code and legislation changes when they are made, I was going to put them on Birdie to show what to change them. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. You guys don't
It's
have
not
to worry.
something that happens all the time or
feels like it
regularly,
for me. It
so-
feels like it's a once a week thing for me
I-
because I deal with
It's
it.
because we're still in the
Yeah.
how should I put it? We're still in the growing stage, the infancy. So.
All right. I'm actually just going to add this one charge real quick. If you guys want to look at it in a second, make sure it looks okay. Alright, I think it should be there now. Yeah, compost to burglary, 8 months, $600. Okay. Yep, I've added it. And I've got it already. Oh, that's the other thing we need to do. We need to put the online version of the docket, or not the docket, the penal code and the legislation out and about.
Yes.
I need need to
And then
talk
I
to the mayor
will
about
get
that.
with James.
Yeah.
I will get with James regarding the public version of the narcotics schedule once that's separated from the hospital internal one.
Yeah, my thing with the online version of the legislation is trying to figure out when we added it so that people can see when it was added or changed, but there's not really a way to do that. So I think for now I'm
Yeah.
just gonna let it be at this is an online version if people need to look at it.
Mhm.
Which one did you have? Sorry.
Accomplice burglary.
It's in there. Right. I'm going to head to bed. I will see the two of you around.
All right. Have a good evening.
You as well.
I'm gonna leave the judge's chambers. I think the only thing left. Do I need to do anything else tonight before? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's not really. I think I might, yeah, take a nap at the very least for a bit so I can get some stuff done. Do you need, do you need, is there anything you need to do or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. I don't have a car, so I walk to and from the apartments.
Well, I'll give you company then.
Yeah. I just unfortunately, I still don't have a car. I'm saving up as much as I can for potentially whenever I can buy a house. But yeah, no. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we really have that we need to think about, which, I mean, license point system will eventually one day be added. We can never get that figured out. But yeah, bar license, and I have to read through that dang handbook. So the handbook apparently says that you can't contest traffic tickets, and I'm like, no, I don't agree with that.
Maybe that was something that was agreed for.
Yeah, I think it was definitely an older change. We'll see. I'm hoping people, if they have changes they want to make, they can suggest them. I think we're okay. Yeah. Nope, we're not. No, we're good. Okay. I can hear Elias screaming in his head behind me about
It's green. I don't know what you mean.
about crossing the road and not really paying attention.
Yeah, I need to get some sort of way to get to the courthouse.
PDM has some vehicles. Have you been able to collect your paycheck yet at the vault?
No.
Oh, you might see if there's a taxi around to help take it there, because that's a walk.
Yeah.
There is not.
Oh, there's a rental place near the apartments.
Yeah, it's you remember Bean Machine? There, that coffee place we went to that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's right behind there still, if I'm not mistaken. They're not super expensive, but yeah, you can go get your paycheck from there and take it out in cash or not, whatnot, or put it directly into your bank account.
I got some sort of scooter or something like that. Just to move around.
Yeah. What in the world is this person? Oh, it's just somebody wanting to do stuff. Okay. I was like, there was a weird incident yesterday that happened at Pillbox about somebody stalking someone else, and then we just found somebody lying on the ground, unresponsive, and we were like, what is going on here? definitely a weird scenario.
From what I'm seeing in the docket, I see that weird scenarios are very common here.
Andre's just zealous. He's a very zealous attorney, and he does well. I think he's just getting his footing still. So. Sorry, had to think about something for a second. Thank you for the follow. Hi. We are streaming right now. Oh, give me 5 seconds. I got an email about something. It's fine. There we go. Take care of it. I get some weird emails, some weird spam emails every now and then I just have to kind of take care of, so. Yep. But no, it is, I'm curious to see, I'm really hoping some other attorneys, want to come about because I would really like to see some more people kind of stepping up, but we will have to wait and see.
Having only one attorney is...
It's rough. Yeah, I used to be that one attorney, if you don't remember. It was rough.
When I became judge, you were basically the main attorney, but there was some paralegals and baby attorneys, basically.
That's what I wanted to talk to you two about was, so, you know, we still hold a bar license as judges, you know, we technically can still act in the capacity of attorney if absolutely necessary. Since there are 3 of us, it could be worth it if we absolutely need, like, there's no other option, there needs to be another attorney. We could potentially act in an attorney sense, but we would have to all agree to that and talk to, obviously, the mayor and the federal government about that, but it could be a valid option, and obviously it's only if you want to and only if absolutely necessary.
I don't mind it happening, but I probably won't do it myself.
I'm a little nervous as the Chief Justice to do it because I don't want to, basically, the way I see it is, the way I'm running it is, say this appeal goes through, and the PD believes it's a mistrial. They could appeal the appeal. I guess they could technically appeal this appeal because this is the first instance of the court of it being in court. This case, to me, if I was unconflicted, I'm technically conflicted in this case, so I can't. But if I were unconflicted, which I try to be with most of my cases, Andre didn't really ask me about being a witness, so that was fun. I guess we could cross over here by the red garage and go through red garage. There's not really a crosswalk here. We might have to jaywalk a little bit.
We'd have to cross here and then
yeah.
cross, yeah.
But yeah, no. I just basically, if somebody thinks there's a mistrial, which they can refer the case to me to review, and I review it, and I either say yes or no based off that, which most of the time I miss. Oh my god. Locals.
As I said before, I know I don't leave my apartment very often, but if you need anything, you can let me know.
Of course.
Either answer through email or come around.
Yeah. We just, most of what we've been doing lately has just been the dang legislation, penal code changes if people have something.
I suppose there was a clerk that said there was another person interested in being judge.
Yeah, we didn't really get to review that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really looking to hire another justice. There's 3 of us right now. I think that's, without more attorneys, we really don't have a need for it. And I know that's not, that's the thing is, they're what they were wanting was very controversial, because they said, oh, they'd be okay with being an attorney, but they also would rather be a justice, but then kind of said actually they'd rather just be a justice. So I'm a bit confused. I might try to see if we can reach out to them and see, you know, we are not looking for justices, but if you want to act in the city as a capacity as an attorney, even if it's on a sporadic basis, we can help you with that.
That was kind of what I did.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I didn't say that I could act as.
Sorry, guys.
I just said I'm not really interested in acting as an attorney.
Yeah. No, that's.
At the time, the city was needing judges. Even though at first I was told no.
Yeah, just.
The day later, the Chief Justice changed and asked me to come again.
One sec. I can't hear you. Sorry, guys.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I sometimes I miss being an attorney, and I'd be glad to be returned to it, but it just kind of depends. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here because I got people yelling at me about stuff, and I'm about to leave on Echo anyway. So if you guys need, have a good evening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you guys later.
Just that I haven't been an attorney in so many